just starting a business. I'm working 50 hours a week at my day job and trying to build a consulting business on the nights and weekends. Everyone has been telling me that this is the smart way to transition, keep a steady paycheck while you build. But I'm exhausted and my side business gets my worst hours, and I feel like my day job performance is slipping. People are just telling me to work harder and sacrifice more. Is this just what you have to do, or is there a smarter way?
Well, this brings up a lot of personal memories.
Right.
I think uh, I think both Chuck and I have stories here. Uh,
Well, number one,
well, yeah,
consulting. Okay. I think the biggest thing for me in getting free was getting involved in an industry that has more passive related income. Consulting to me sounds let me break this down 1 second. Okay, you want to work on consulting. You work 50 hours a week at your regular job. Who are you consulting with? I assume it's business people, right? Well, how are you consulting with business people at night typically? Right? So it sounds kind of weird to begin with. Um,
yeah.
you know, I,
There's no way this is going to work.
yeah, just that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Wrong bit,
No,
wrong type of business, I think.
yeah. Well, and here my experience was this. So when I when I started doing this business, this is all that I did. And then I mean the credit card processing business, that business, that's all that I did. I didn't do anything else. And I did it for a while, and I hated everybody in the industry, and I did really well at it. Once I figured out, okay, here's a system that really works for me, I did really well. It was one of the top. At this point, I was in Southern California. I was always one of the top one, two, or three people in Southern California, which is a wickedly competitive business. And but how I did it, I did things a little bit differently, and I also worked harder than most people. Uh, and but I burned out on it, and I didn't like anybody in the industry. I went to three different companies. It was like, there's a U2 lyric that says, uh, I drink bread and wine if there's a church I could receive in. And I couldn't, I didn't like any of these places. I left. I left the industry and decided if I ever got back into it, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this myself. Or you know what, I'm going to have my own company that does this, because I don't like being jerked around by all these people. But anyway, so when I did that, um, when I did that, uh, this is a business to business situation. So I couldn't do it at nights and weekends. It doesn't work. So I quit my day job and got a job at night in a factory. And I didn't want to work in a factory. I wanted to be free, but it freed up my days uh, to be able to do this. Now, uh, it was I didn't make a lot of money at night. Working in a factory at night wasn't didn't pay all my bills, but it paid some, and it freed me up to do what's really important during the hours where the people that I needed to connect with were available. So I still at the factory work. I had to be there from 3 p.m. until 1 a.m. Monday through Thursday. So so which meant that I didn't get home in bed until about 2:30, and then I had to get up in the morning with a 6 month old, and 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 work with the 6 month old until about 12:30, 1 o'clock, when my wife got back, where she would have two kids, and I would go do a couple things on the way to the factory. It was really hard. It was really blurry, but within about, I don't know, it was about a year and a half. I had a lot of cash flow from my day work, and then they canned me, they sacked me, as they say in England, during the night job, because they found me in a conference room doing my day work, and they go, maybe you should just go do your day work all the time.
Hmm.
And I said, you know what, you're right. And so that's what I did. But it's whatever is your main thing that you're trying to grow, uh, you can do things at night and the weekends as long as it's not geared toward businesses. If your work is with businesses, you've got to be free during the day to do work with them.
Right.
If you're working with people, you're recruiting people for whatever you're doing, I don't know, or you're selling to people. You can do that in the evenings and on the weekends. Like long time ago, uh, uh, I had a little telemarketing company back in California, and we were calling people to go to timeshare presentations in Los Angeles, and we were down in San Diego anyway. That doesn't matter. But we would start. I forget. It's about 3 o'clock. We'd get to the office and get things cranked up, and really it was a 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Uh, um, Monday or Sunday through Thursday. We didn't do Friday and Saturday because it's
Right.
hard to find people. But so those that was to consumers, that was to people, not businesses. So what you're trying to again, you just have to
I think too that sounds like the guy's trying to run like two careers, right? Like, well, my day job, and I'm working 50 hours a week at my day job. And I think what happens with a lot of people is they don't understand that sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, freedom comes with a little bit of sacrifice, right? So, like, if that were me, I would go, well, my day job that I'm consuming my weeks of 50 hours plus with is not what I ultimately want to do. So I need to figure out like a factory deal at night. I know I'm making less money, but it frees me up to be more productive in what I really want to do. And I have to figure out how to make that work then. See, what
yeah.
people don't want to do is they don't want to give up that security of, well, I get paid vacation and I get 401k and I get, all like the piker stuff, which is good stuff. And I'm not dissing it. I think it's great to have. But if your motivation is to be free, you don't get that by working for someone else. You get that by running your own deal, right? So you need that 50-hour a week job. I would go, okay, maybe instead of driving a $90,000 car, maybe I need to situate my life a little bit differently, just in the interim, in the short term, because I can't afford an $1,800 a month car payment. I can only afford a $400 a month car payment, but it frees me up to get my dream off the ground. And then I can get a night gig working, making half or two-thirds the money, and then focus on what matters. He wants the best of both worlds, right? Well, I don't want to give up all the security of my daytime job. Well, how bad do you want to be free then? How bad do you want to be a consultant? You have to make choices here. But if
Yeah.
my lifestyle says I can't give up this 50-hour a week deal, then I need to change my lifestyle a little bit to focus on what I need to do during the day. And when I started in the credit card industry, I worked nights too. And eventually I just got to the point where, I had to work 3 to 11 or 3 to 11. And eventually I just was like, oh, I got a meeting for my day job at 4:30, 5 o'clock. And I would just leave to go do that. And I kind of got the same talk like, hey, maybe you should go do that then. And I
Yeah.
found out I was making more money doing the other thing and building my own deal than I was working for them. But if he's trying to do it that way, he'll never get there. He will absolutely never, ever get there. You can't. It's impossible. You
Yeah.
have to make a
It
decision. Which pony do you want to ride? You want to ride the freedom pony, or do you want to ride the 50-hour week? It sounds like to me that person feels very much in jail to their 50-hour week job.
yeah.
Do you know what
When
job stands for? Just over broke. I always wanted to say that. I heard that once.
I haven't heard you say that. I mean, we used to say that a lot over,
Yeah,
it's just I haven't said that for a lot of years. So
yeah,
it's interesting, fun to hear that again.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you don't get free. You don't. It's hard to get free working for somebody else, for a lot of reasons. And like pay, for example. Even if you're outdoing most everybody, let's say in sales at your company, uh, if they're paying you a salary and commission and all these things, and you're going, man, it's just not enough. It's not enough to get free. Well, the reason is, and you can run the number, take a step back and just think about this, and grab your little pen and paper and go, all right, what does this company have to pay for all the people that do the same kind of job as you that are underperforming? So your overperformance money is going to pay underperforming people on your team. So that's just that will keep you, just that expense that the company has doesn't allow them to even have the money to pay for the performance that you think you should have. So if you're that great of a performer, you probably should go do your own deal. But it is tricky because how many people have we interviewed to work on the inside over the years? They go, well, I need to make this amount of money. And go, yeah, but that's not my fault.
Yeah.
And they want to come and work with us because somehow, by osmosis, because we think this way and operate this way, they're going to get free too. And then they go, yeah, but I need to make this amount of money. And they go, yeah, but then you need to do this. You need to do your own thing, not our thing, or work in a little different capacity with us as an outside agent or something like that, and we'll help you to be able to get free. But it's so many people like side hustles, right? It's like, oh, I'm doing the side. Well, if you're going to do a side hustle, then, you know, it has to be a side hustle that I don't know. I don't know many. Well, that's not true. I was going to say I don't know many side hustles. Most side hustles, they aren't going to get you free. If you're looking for a side hustle to get you free, you better be. It needs to. Your targets need to be available when you are. You need to have energy at that time. All these things. So. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons that somebody working 50 hours a week and doing another gig isn't going to work if they're doing the wrong gig, which seems like this guy has them reversed. If you really want to be a consultant, then yeah, and you need money and you need money without, until you make money in consulting. Well, get a night job and then, you know, do the right thing so you have the energy during the day to really do this consulting thing in a big way so you can drop the night gig and accelerate into
Right.
where you want to go.
And I think something happens in your mind as a human being that when you cut that umbilical cord, you go, okay, or when you jump off a cliff, your options are pretty limited, right? So, I mean, when you say, okay, I'm dropping this 50-hour week gig, I have no choice but to make my side hustle, which is coming to the forefront, and then my side hustle is delivering pizzas at night so I can get my consulting thing going. Your focus, your intent, your energy, your everything is more directed at, because you have to. Knowing you have to as opposed to just wanting to, those are two different things. Those are way two different things. And
Yeah.
when you have to, something changes within you, and you have a different just different attack or different way of going about it, however you want to describe it. It's if you just kind of want to, doesn't really work that well.